Hi, my name is Ken Albertsen. I'm here to talk about the DEA and how they're making such a mess in the world. DEA stands for Drug Enforcement Agency. It's an American agency funded by tens of billions of dollars. And my first question is, what do they do? What do they really do? I mean, you've heard perhaps that they're supposed to bust people for doing drugs, okay? And yeah, they do some of that. But most of what they do, just like Trump in the executive branch, is a whole lot of nothing. They actually destroy people's lives. They get people thrown in jail, in prisons. I happen to have a personal knowledge of what's going on in Southeast Asia. You might remember, your parents might remember, that there was a big problem with heroin back there. They had the Golden Triangle and all that. So the DEA has to put its nose in everything. DEA got involved, and they pay the officials over there, specifically in Thailand, but also in Burma and Laos and Cambodia. They pay them to put out the problem. Okay, now the problem did lessen. So there was less heroin coming in from Southeast Asia. And then the DEA said, well, okay, there's less of a problem where we're going to pull out. And the officials over there said, wait, you've been giving us money. We like that money. You can't just pull out and quit giving us money. So what happened is the officials over there, or some of them, they thought up of another drug problem, which was they thought up, and they call it yaba. That's what they call it in Thailand and Laos, which stands for speed or methamphetamine. So DEA turns around and goes, oh, you have another drug problem? Oh, well then you're going to need a lot more, millions of dollars to deal with that. So the officials are smiling and thinking, yeah, that's right. We're going to need a lot more money to deal with this problem. But it so happens yaba, methamphetamine, isn't a real big problem, okay? Especially when you compare it to, for example, alcohol, which DEA doesn't even consider a drug, okay? You look on the DEA site, they don't even mention alcohol, although it's the most dangerous drug in the world. Now, I might sound like an old man going on a rant, and maybe that's what I am, but the thing that got to me most of all was how the DEA, working with these Southeast Asian officials, was destroying people's lives and destroying families. Every person you put in prison, you're going to affect that person's family, at least, and their friends and beyond their extended family. And it's happening on such a gargantuan scale. Just in Thailand, which I'm personally familiar with, tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of people in jail who shouldn't be there. Some of them whom I talked to, for example, one young man, 17 years old, had a half a pill in his pocket. He was sentenced to 17 years. First offense. Lovely young man, had his whole life, the whole middle of his life blown out. Another man, about my age, in his 50s, 60s, got caught with one pill. He got almost 30 years. He got 28 years and 3 months. And I actually wrote a book, and I used his example. The book is called 28, no, I'm sorry, One Pill Equals 28 Years. And it's about him. It's about the things I'm talking about. Now, you may wonder, how do I know about these people in prison? Well, frankly, I was in prison, but I wasn't in for drugs, nothing to do with drugs. I was in for something called pandering. It was a bogus charge, and if you get my book, and yeah, I'm peddling something, so everybody's got something to peddle. It'll explain what happened to me, but the bigger picture is what happened to these tens of thousands, mostly young men, but also women and men of all ages. And what happened to them? I've been to hill tribes in Thailand, northern Thailand, and it's very common to see a bunch of young women with little kids sitting around doing nothing. They're looking sad. I mean, this is not an anomaly. And if you ask any of them, you'll say, well, what's going on? Do you have a family? Da-da-da-da. They'll say, yeah, but my husband's, he's in prison. Or my father, yeah, he's in prison. You know, he got caught with one pill or 5 pills or whatever. And the DEA is behind this. They're shoveling money into Thailand to fuel this destruction of hundreds of thousands of lives. It probably happens in Africa and Europe and South America, Latin America. So don't believe what the DEA tells you. They're a federal ministry. They're up to their gills in what do they want this money for? Well, first of all, to put in their pockets. Second of all, everybody likes money. They can buy SUVs and everything. I talked to a man who was in the government in the Philippines. And by the way, that's another country that's having a big quote unquote drug problem, but it wouldn't be a drug problem without the authorities making it a drug problem. And this guy was saying, oh yeah, the US DEA gave us 3 brand new PT boats, cruising boats. They're beautiful. They were on trailers. We use them, to add to the 17 others we have to cruise around the islands looking for druggies. Of course, they don't find any, but they have a great time cruising around on these multi-million-dollar cruise ships that the DEA gives them. The DEA also facilitates giving them all these officials all over the Southeast Asia. They give them Humvees. They give the military leaders weapons. Most of these countries are military juntas, controlled by the military through coup d'état. Okay, I could ramble on, but I think this is a serious problem, and I hate to see all these beautiful young people put in jail on false pretenses or bogus, bullshit little, nitpicky little reasons. It's really disgusting. The DEA should actually be disbanded. And if you want to fight the war on drugs, okay, there's ways to do that. You can do it through, mainly, I think, through social services. I haven't had anything to do with drugs. I don't even drink alcohol. I don't do any pharmaceutical drugs. 0. The only thing I do is aspirin once in a while if I have a headache. So you can check out my book, and I have other books on adventure1.com. The title is 1 Pill Equals 28 Years. Okay, I'm going to sign off now.